In this episode, we're talking about how to join the YouTube Partner Program in 2025. There's actually some big changes that just happened at the beginning of the year. We're going to talk about the benefits of the Partner Program, and we're going to talk about what type of revenue is realistic. So by the end of this episode, you'll know how to qualify and what it takes to make a good living on YouTube. Let's dive right in. So some details about the partner program. This was brilliant. I mean, this was a genius move on YouTube's part, and in my opinion, it's the big reason why YouTube is successful and no other video platform or social platform with video even compares, even comes close to what YouTube has done. So YouTube makes money through advertising revenue. So advertisers can put their ads on YouTube, but that ad is shown around content that you and I create. So when we put a video there and YouTube pairs it with an ad, advertisers pay YouTube and YouTube splits that advertising revenue with us. So they pay us 55%. So YouTube's created a true partnership. We, as the creators of the content, have a vested interest in YouTube succeeding. We want YouTube to succeed, so therefore we succeed. And YouTube has provided all the tools and resources to make sure that we can learn and understand what's working, what's not working, so that we succeed. YouTube wants us to succeed. So let's get into some examples. I produce over 60 different YouTube channels. I'm going to show you one right here. This is Noelle Randall. She is a real estate investor and she teaches people real estate investing. Well, the screenshot that I've taken here was November. This was a record month, okay, for a couple of years. You'll notice that the ad revenue in November was over $46,000. So that's the amount, that's the 55% that YouTube paid to Noelle. So the amount that the advertisers paid was obviously higher than that. This is that 55%. Now this is from 2 million views that Noelle's channel had in the month of November. Now what I'm going to say next is probably going to surprise you, okay, but I want you to understand both sides. Noelle probably made about $2 million in November from those 2 million views. Okay, and I want to show you how. I want to break it down for you. So we're going to look both at ad revenue and business revenue so you can see the comparison. So if we take that $46,000 for 2 million views, we can divide that down and get a CPM. M is the Roman numeral for 1,000, so that's the stat in the YouTube analytics, so that's a CPM of 23. That's actually a pretty good CPM. On many channels, if they get a $10 CPM, then they're pretty happy about that. So anyway, 46,000 out of 2 million views, that's a pretty good CPM. But what about the business revenue? Okay, so the main source of traffic that we focus on this channel and all the channels that I produce is search traffic. So in that same month of November, if you look at this traffic source report, I'm highlighting YouTube search. So we're just looking at YouTube search traffic. So even though we had 2 million views, we had 84,000 or nearly 85,000 views that came from search. And these are people that are asking questions that Noelle has expertise in. So they're asking questions about real estate investing, for example. Now when she gets 1,000 views from search like this, she might generate 50 leads from that, and that's a conservative number. Out of those 50 leads, she'll have about 15 conversations. And from those 15 conversations, she'll have 5 sales. So let's say that each sale was a $2,000 sale, then that's a revenue of $10,000. So 1,000 views that generates leads for her business turns into $10,000. Now if she had 84,000 views from search in the month of November, if we use the same math, then that would equate to $840,000. Well, she made more than that. So these are conservative numbers here, but that paints the picture of what it's like to leverage YouTube to generate business revenue. So I want to show you a few examples of YouTube videos. Right at the very end, there's a call to action. The call to action generates a lead for the business. So here's a video that I filmed in the past, and you see I'm holding up a book. I offer that book as a free plus shipping offer. So as long as people are willing to pay the printing and shipping cost, then they go to the link that I mentioned and they could get that book. And if I fast forward a few more seconds, you can see that there's actually a link that we can put on the screen in the end screen. So this is a clickable element. So not only would I say the URL, but I'd put that clickable link in the end screen so that people can go there. It's also important to put that link where people are going to look for it. So oftentimes people will find the description, and so I put that there. If you guys are interested, that's not what this video is about, but you could get that at natesyoutubebook.com. With the printing and shipping, it's full color. It'd be like 12 bucks or something. So here's another example. This is Nicolene Peck. She's a parenting expert. You can see that about 2/3 of the way through the video, we mentioned this Calm Parenting Toolkit that she offers. She's also written children's stories that teach lessons, and so she features those in her videos. And it looks like in this episode, she actually offered an entire package. And I don't know the deal here, but whether it's a book, whether it's her Calm Parenting Toolkit, I recommend having one call to action per video. You can see in her description, she's got the link to different resources, the toolkit and books and so forth. So going back to that first example with Noelle Randall, here's an example of one of her offers. She's got a special bundle available. You can get all 4 of these books. You just pay the shipping and handling. She has the domain, which I highly recommend. She bought a special domain just for this landing page. She has noellsfreegift.com, where you come and you enter your information here and you can get the free gift or the free plus shipping gift. At appropriate points in the video, she'll mention it and she'll put things down at the bottom of the screen so that you can know what it is that she's talking about. Here's another example for one of her books. This is another episode, a different example, and it's another book that she's holding up there, and she's got a link right in the end screen. When you go to the description of the video, you'll find the books and the calls to action. She's got a lot of resources in her description. Now, we don't put calls to action like that in every episode. We often do a call to action that suggests you watch another episode. All right, I want to show you another example, complete different industry. This is at the end of one of Jay Townsend's videos, and I don't see his lead magnet linked here. You do see that he's linked to another episode, which is important to do in a lot of episodes. But if we go down to the description, you'll see a link right there, and I bet that's above the fold too, which is pretty cool. He'll have the second one right there. When you're writing your description, if you keep your initial paragraph short enough and you put your YouTube video in there, that link will appear above the fold. So that's why we've got the link in there twice. So now we've talked about the 2 main ways that you can make revenue from YouTube. You can make money in the YouTube Partner Program, where YouTube writes you a check or gives you a deposit, and you have your own business and you can generate leads from YouTube and make revenue that way. So how do you qualify for the YouTube Partner Program, and what is the big change that just happened? So this is what it used to be. This was 2024, and for a couple decades prior, as long as I know, you had to get to 1,000 subscribers and you had to have 4,000 hours of watch time. So within a year, you had to have 4,000 hours of watch time. Well, that lowered. So now, if you log into the analytics, you'll see this is a brand new channel, but it says right here, 500 subscribers is all that's needed. So that's half of the requirement before, and then 3,000 hours of watch time. And because some channels focus on shorts, which I actually don't recommend for a lead generation channel, they have 3 million views for shorts would also qualify for that. So that means it's gotten easier. If ad revenue is a focus for you, which we're not going to turn it away, it's a nice icing on the cake. In many cases, the ad revenue will cover the cost of the production of the channel. In Noelle's case last November, $43,000 in a single month, that's great revenue. But in other cases, we might have 6 figures of revenue in the business from YouTube leads and only say $1,000 in ad revenue, and so that's the icing on the cake. And that's actually more the norm for the type of channel that I produce. So when you're logged into YouTube Analytics, this is for this brand new channel, it's just been out just over a month, you can come over here to earn, and it will show you how far you've come. There's any details you need, but once you hit 500 and 3,000, instead of get notified, and the button will change, I think it might say apply or something like that, but within a couple of days, you'll get a response back and you should be approved for the YouTube Partner Program. Now, clients like Jay or Noelle, or I produce over 60 different YouTube channels that focus on YouTube for lead generation. And the way that we do that is by getting videos to rank at the top of YouTube. So we're getting a lot of search traffic, okay? If you'd like to learn how we do that strategy, I'll link to another video right here. It's called my YouTube SEO Secret Strategy. I highly recommend you watch that one now.